What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and this is rFactor 2 with the Endurance Racing X mod from Silverstone. But we're going to be driving the Corvette because the Corvette is free, and honestly, it's awesome. Now, as some of you guys might know, this mod is a payware mod, which I'll talk about a little bit here in a bit. Long story short, I'm a fan of the EGT series, aka GTE, as we all know it to be in the real world. Which I'll also talk a little bit about a little bit later on, but basically, I'm not a fan of payware mods. You know, it's not necessarily a price thing, it's more so what can you actually do to make it worth it. I'm pretty familiar with Flight Simulator, have definitely logged a bunch of time over there, and you know, payware mods, payware add-ons are the common thing, you know, but very often they are entirely worth it because they extend the functionality, you know, built into various flight simulators. They add more realism and things like that, whereas here in Racing Sim land, you're a little bit more of a gray area. It's really, a lot of it comes down to how do the cars drive and their physics and how realistic are they, but at the same time, how much information can you actually gather on these particular tires, for example. I mean, you know, it's big business. So there's not a lot of information out there available, so I don't know, I just think if I'm not necessarily adverse to the concept of payware modding so long as it doesn't create issues within the community, as well as it brings something else to the table, which, you know, I think my thing with this mod is I'm a huge fan of these types of cars, as well as the fact that, I mean, this cockpit is just fantastic. Now, all the cars in this mod, or in the full mod, don't have cockpits right now. The Corvette does the Venom, which is the look-alike Viper that you see in my rear view monitor there, as well as the Bayro, which of course is the BMW Z4. Wide there. The thing that got me though was just the quality of the cockpit. You know, I'm a huge fan of that. If you've watched my channel for a while, it is all crucial, super important that it's done right, as well as the quality of the racing. I fired up the Corvettes, which is a separate car, a free car that they released, and just ran them with the ISI Corvette. It was great. You know, the racing actually worked offline, and it was a fun experience. And they're definitely fast. I'm running at 101% difficulty, which typically when I'm driving the ISI Corvette, I'm up around 105 to 107% here at Silverstone. Cannot wait for the skin pack that will inevitably switch these cars into their real-world counterparts. Just to add that little extra bit of immersion, and wow, that was a move right there. the outside like a boss. Now the default setup for this car is absolutely terrible, in my opinion. I could not stand the way it drove. It was basically set up ultra, super, mega, super, supremely safely to the point where it's kind of like, kind of a little bit like Gran Turismo almost, where your car has grip or it doesn't have grip. It's either one or the other. You know, just because of the way the setup was, it would just slide the front end as soon as you got any sort of trouble going on. Just soften up the front end a little bit, stiffen up the rear end, and then it starts to come to life a little bit more. It really does feel similar to the ISI Corvette, which is still a GT2 Corvette. These are obviously GTE cars, which for you guys out there who are perhaps confused, they're the same class. They're the same type of cars. Feels very similar, although not nearly as driven off of rear camber. And again, that's just my general feelings with rFactor 2 in general. It feels like everything has 10 degrees negative rear camber. Man, I just love these cars. They're so awesome. That goes for their real-world counterparts as well. I mean, GTE, if you ask me, is superior to GT3 by 1.5 miles. I mean, that's not to say that GT3 racing sucks or anything like that, or it's not exciting to watch, because it definitely is. But I mean, these are the big daddies. This is where the manufacturers go to play, right? So this stands to reason. There's a reason why. Whoa! Next year with the whole Tusk shenanigans at GTLM or ALMS GT or GTE Pro. I guess GT Pro for you guys over living in Europe, because God forbid we actually just come up with one freaking name and stick with it, even though they're the same cars. Okay, why are you guys all driving over there? Do I smell funny or something? There's a reason why that class is going to be unchanged for next year. I gotta say, this AI is not a bunch of pushovers here. One thing I do wish that could be improved, though, would be the rear view monitor, which isn't necessarily a fault of... Ooh, that's interesting. Which isn't necessarily a fault of the mod, it's just a rFactor thing, which I'm pretty sure there's a texture you can change out. I know it worked like that in rFactor 1 to make it higher resolution, which normally would be perfectly fine for, you know, just your side view mirrors, but with a rear view monitor right there, not gonna make it. That's why it's paved, right? But with the rear view monitor right there, obviously it's a little bit more crucial because it is so much more visible. Just a great looking cockpit. Seriously, that is the most important thing other than physics in a mod. And you're going to be doing two things when you're driving the car. You're going to be driving the car, so it's important it drives good, as well as being in the car. So it's important that the cockpit looks like a cockpit. Come on, stick. The tires are starting to go away a little bit. I am running the Sprint compound. So there are two tire compounds. There's Sprint and Endurance. Still feel like I need to do a little bit more setup work with this thing though. Sliding the front end a little bit too much for my tastes. I see you. Not sure if Endurance Racing X Series or ALMS. Seriously, sometimes rFactor 2 knocks my socks off. Sometimes it makes me question who in the world programmed this thing and have they ever played their own game. YOLO. Seems like our pal there in the Bayrow is having a little bit of a problem with his pace. Oh, you don't hit the brakes there, bro. You do not hit the brakes there. Apparently he does hit the brakes there, I guess. That's perfectly fine, perfectly legit. See, I wasn't able to capitalize on it. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. I knew it too. I was just hoping maybe he'll back out and get his nose out of there and allow me to go up the inside. It's okay. Pretty sure race control's just telling me to give that position back. Dang right. Dang right. I gotta say, I don't know what it is, but the AI actually performs somewhat decently in these cars. Except for the fact that they randomly turn laps that are 3 seconds off the pace, and then they randomly speed up again. Kind of shocked that the weather hasn't changed, honestly. So I set it up for some cloud cover rolling in, and hasn't been any cloud cover. It's kind of disappointing. I mean, it's not always going to do exactly what you say. There is still a little bit of random element to it, but kind of interesting. Also kind of interesting is the fact that the shadows keep disappearing underneath cars. You can put lipstick on it, but it's still the same old rFactor 2. Like those are the 2 liters up ahead there. There's something hanging in midair there. Pretty sure if I was doing this for real, I would not have noticed that. Nor would I have wanted to notice that. I don't know, we seem to be gaining on him. Looks like it's a Corvette and a... I can't quite tell what that other car is up there. 5 minutes left. I totally botched this section. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I am driving guru. Well, looks like things are going to get a little bit more interesting here on the last couple of laps. Coming down here. Looks like we got a Corvette and a Darche. I'm guessing you guys can all probably figure out what that actually is. Who cares about track limits, really? Don't want me to use it, don't pave it. Something a little bit different through there, and absolutely did not work. I'm going to go ahead and guesstimate we got 2 laps left. Really would like to win this race, by the way. Left, so that does mean that we probably will have one more lap after this, I think. Not that that's going to change our attitude about getting past these guys. Not a whole lot of grip out there. This other Corvette's coming back into the fight. Come on, one more lap, please. No! No! cares if it's the cooldown lap, right? Man, rFactor 2 is an absolute enigma. I mean, how can a sim look absolutely terrible, yet look absolutely brilliant at the same time? How can it run absolutely terrible, yet run amazingly fine on a different track with different cars or anything like that? You know, how can the AI perform pretty darn well? I think you guys out there would agree that was pretty darn exceptional here in this race. And then the next race perform absolutely stupidly. Just doesn't make sense. World's fastest cooldown lap ever. It says the checkered flag's out, but I ain't slowing down. Maybe I should slow down. What a race. What a race. What a cooldown lap, too. Yes! Hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, bye.